Hey, how's it going guys, Keep Shark here, and today I broke a phone in school. So in our school, we have these phones in every single room that you mount on the wall, so that if someone needs to go up to the office, if someone is called to the office, or if someone needs to go home, the main phone in the office can ring up any phone in each of the classrooms to let someone know from that classroom that they have to go home or go up to the office. It's basically like just one massive kind of intercom type thing where all the phones are just interlinked, so you can basically pick up the phone and call whatever room you want. So in this one room that we have English class in, there's this phone right next to the door, and right next to the phone is this cabinet, and right next to this cabinet is a desk. So in English I normally sit next to this one guy, and we always sit in the third from the front seat. So we sit 3 seats back from the front, and we nearly sit there for every single class. But in this class someone got to the seat before us, so the only seat left was the desk next to the cabinet. So in each of our classes we have like 3 rows of desks. We have one on the right up against the wall, we have one in the middle, and then one on the left up against the wall. And I normally like to sit on the seat up against the wall. I normally like to sit on the very inside. So I was actually sitting on the desk with the cabinet, but I was right behind the cabinet, so my friend was able to stretch out his legs, but I couldn't. And if you didn't know, most of my height comes from my legs, because I have massive legs. Normally when I sit down, I like to be able to stretch out my legs. I just feel more comfortable when I'm able to sit back and stretch out my legs. But I couldn't do this since the cabinet was in the way. So I go to try and move the cabinet with my legs, and it doesn't work. My chair keeps getting pushed back, because whenever I go to push the cabinet, I'm just getting pushed back like this because the cabinet's too heavy. So I say to one of my friends sitting behind me, I'm like, yo, put your legs up in the back of my chair and push as hard as you can. So he's there pushing on my chair, putting plenty of pressure on it so that I'm able to kick up against this cabinet and push it forward so I can get a little more leg room. So I push up against it, and the next thing I know, I hear this massive cracking sound. So my first reaction was, holy crap, I just broke the cabinet. I thought that either the cabinet at the back split, or maybe the side was after falling off. I honestly have no idea what happened. I just heard a crack, and I presumed it was something to do with the cabinet. So the cabinet is like maybe this much out from the wall, so I kind of lean up against the wall and I peek around just to see what happened. So I peek around the corner, and I see this little grey plastic bit on the wall, and then below that I see another grey plastic bit just kind of dangling. So I'm just like, holy crap, the phone is after splitting in half. I thought that I pushed the cabinet up against the phone, and the phone literally just cracked in half like that. But then everyone started getting up to see like what actually happened, so I go up as well, and I actually just noticed that the phone, like the hooks on the back that hooked onto the thing on the wall. So basically there was the phone, and then there was the mount on the wall. There was hooks on the phone that hooked onto the mount so that the phone would stay there. And it turns out actually that just the hooks kind of cracked off the phone so that the phone couldn't actually latch onto the back anymore. So the phone fell down, and it was dangling by this wire, and actually the actual foam part itself that you put up on the hook, that fell off, and there's actually a bin right below the phone, and the phone part of it fell into the bin. And there's all like this rotten like fruit, and there's like papers, there's wrappers from sweets, like sticky wrappers or whatever, and there's some freaking orange peels and just mank fruit inside the bin. And this phone just falls off into the bin, and I don't know why, but I was absolutely wetting myself at this stage. I honestly have no reason why. I found it so funny. I found it way funnier than everybody else. Like, I did not mean to break the phone. I'm not in any way a destructive or violent person, and I've never done anything to try and break the rules. Like, I'm a good kid. I'm a good freaking kid. I wouldn't do this stuff on purpose. But I don't know, I just found it so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. So anyway, I'm up there, I'm trying to fix it, right? I'm trying to fix it, seeing if I can put it back on the hook or latch it back onto the mount or whatever. And then the teacher walks in. So I'm just there trying to hook it back onto the little mount or whatever. The teacher walks in, and the second I see the door open, I just book it back to my seat. I just go as quickly as I can. I sit down just as if I was coming into the class that moment. And for some reason, I have no idea why, the teacher did not notice that the phone was broken. She literally just walked in and walked right past the phone and got on about her business. Then one of my friends asked if he could go to the toilet. It was actually Padjo Live. I don't know why, but whenever I tell these stories, Padjo Live always gets mentioned for some reason. But he asked if he could go to the toilet, And the teacher said, yeah, of course. And he got up and he went and he had a look at the phone, and the look on his face when he saw the phone was just priceless. He was like cringing. He was like, oh god. And right as he was opening the door, everyone in the class started saying, oh, why'd you do it? Why'd you do it? So the teacher looked over at him as he was going out, because everyone was saying that he did it, even though he clearly didn't. So the teacher looks over and she sees that it's broken. She's like, ah, lads, who broke the phone? So she goes over and she looks at the phone and she spends the next 10 minutes trying to fix it. Eventually she can't fix it, so she just puts the phone down and the phone falls. Like, she picked up the phone first of all and tried to put it back onto the hook, and then she tried to latch that back onto the mount, and that wouldn't work, so she just let it hang and the thing fell back off into the bin, and then the phone was just dangling there. And one of the best parts was, since the phone was still working but it was off the hook, you could just hear it beeping. So whenever it went quiet, which was actually pretty often, you could just hear the phone beeping, and I could not stop laughing. I was borderline crying. Like, I don't know why, I just found it so funny. Now thankfully I have some pretty cool classmates, so when she asked who did it, everyone said that it was like that when we got into the classroom. So if for some reason anyone from my class watches this, thanks for not ratting me out, even though everyone was dropping hints that it was me throughout the classroom, but my teacher was just absolutely oblivious to it. Like, she just didn't take any notice that it may possibly have been me. But nonetheless, they said it was like that when we got in, so that was pretty cool. If any of my teachers are watching this, I promise I didn't mean to do it. I'm a good kid. I just wanted some leg room. It's not my fault. My legs are too long. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this story. It's not really often that you get ones like this. I don't really have too many cool or funny stories of things that I did, stupid things that I did. But nonetheless, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave it a like, make sure you subscribe if you're new here. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.